Most interesting psychology facts about human minds. 1. The term psychology has been derived from the Greek word psyche, translating as breath, spirit, soul, and logia, corresponding to study of. 2. It takes about 66 days for an average individual to make something a daily habit. 3. Studies say that individuals who could instinctively use sarcasm to tackle a frivolous question have healthy minds. 4. Individuals who have a deep sense of guilt are better at identifying the emotions and concerns of the people around them. 5. We can udenretsnad any msid upsnesin as long as the lsat and farset ltirts of wdros are in klarkoate palix. Suhcastsd 6. We're naturally second-minded because other people don't approve. 7. Yawning to have someone else's yawn is a normal phenomenon, despite not feeling exhausted or asleep. One of the myths regarding its infectiousness is that people catch it to express empathy. 8. An average individual's mind wanders 30% of the time. 9. Eye pupil rises to 45% when an individual looks at somebody they love. 10. We often tend to break down knowledge into classes of 3 to 4 objects in them. The Indian phone number is 98497325543, 3 blocks with 3 to 4 bits in each chunk. 11. During the 7 minutes of neural activity before dying, you will see your memories in a dreamlike pattern. 12. Having siblings is proven to help with getting along well with peers. 13. The way an individual treats the employees at an establishment tells immensely about their character. 14. If you sob out of happiness, the first tear will come from the right eye, but if you cry out of sorrow, it will come from the left. 15. Food prepared by someone else tastes much better than your preparation, even when you use the same recipe. 16. Hearing a single negative thing could damage at least 5 positive memories. 17. Studies have shown that consuming food without preservatives will increase IQ by up to 14%. 18. You seem to think more about a specific individual than about catastrophic events. 19. An individual still has 7 minutes of neural activity before he passes away. 20. Researchers have observed that thinking that something bad is going to happen is less stressful to understand than not understanding how it will eventually wind up. 21. Men aren't more entertaining than women, they only make more jokes, and they don't care whether others like their humor or not. 22. Shy people tell others very little about themselves, but they do it in quite a manner that makes other individuals believe they know them better than they think they do. 23. Our brain size has decreased by 10% since we were hunter-gatherers. 24. People in blue rooms are also much more productive. 25. The study showed that information could last longer in the mind of a person evaluated for it than if it were only examined without the need for instant recall. 26. You are in an endless pursuit of human faces and inanimate objects. 27. People are much more likely to return a missing wallet if a picture of a child is found inside. 28. Smart people tend to have fewer mates than the average person. The smarter the individual, the more selective they become. 29. People who speak 2 languages can unintentionally change their personalities when they switch from one language to another. 30. Would rather change the truth than change their views about people. 31. Wow. 31. People being alone is harder for your health than you believe. 32. We're the most imaginative at night and the least creative in the day. 33. Being home alone and isolated for a long time is just as bad for your well-being as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 34. People are more likely to blame someone in the case when something negative happens. 35. Studies also found that people who are in a position of influence and power are very poor at determining other people's emotions. 36. People between the ages of 18 and 33 have the highest percentage of depression in the world. 37. Studies say that travel improves brain well-being and even lowers a person's chance of heart disease and depression. 38. Cognitive dissonance is when you have 2 contradictory values and you change one to match another. 39. The broken heart condition is also called stress cardiomyopathy, which could lead to critical, short-term heart muscle dysfunction. 40. The force of authority may have the same effect on a human as a traumatic brain injury. 41. People read quicker with longer lines but prefer shorter lines. 42. Larger groups make worse and more subjective choices than smaller groups of people. 43. Write it down if you can't interrupt the stream of thinking at night. This is going to put your mind at ease so that you can relax. 44. Women have half as many pain receptors on their bodies as males, but they have a much greater threshold for pain. 45. Physically, repetition affects the brain as new associations are made between brain cells. 46. The maximum number of close friendships you can maintain is between 50 and 150. 47. Any relationship born between 16 and 28 years of age is more likely to be robust and long-lasting. 48. Emotional pain is remembered better than actual pain, which has a greater influence on your behavior. 49. If we have a plan B, our plan A is less likely to succeed. 50. The starting and the ending are easier to recall than the middle ones. 51. Anything that your mind says has an identical response from the body's cells. 52. We would like to break more laws if one law is too strict. 53. London cab drivers, who need to know every street in London, have an expanded hippocampus that indicates that this area is increasing as you decipher more details. 54. Our minds are working on making boring speeches more exciting. 55. You're conditioned to enjoy the songs you've most listened to in high school. 56. Memories are more like pieced images than precise snapshots. 57. When you feel like you're low on something like money, you're obsessive about it. 58. A scientist named Thomas H. Morgan discovered that chromosomes had inherited knowledge. 59. Your brain is doing more imaginative work when you're sleepy. 60. It is also found that staying optimistic about the future can powerfully shield people from physical and mental illness. 61. People who view crime shows and films have consistently overestimated the frequency of crime in the real world. 62. Your reliance on social media is the product of your psychological system. 63. There's a neurological explanation for why you thought your phone was vibrating because there's no warning called phantom vibration syndrome. 64. Some people live their lives as if they were in a reality television show. 65. Feeling as though you are in a TV reality show is considered the Truman Syndrome. 66. Seeing others favorably shows our positive characteristics. Seeing others negatively reveals our negative attributes. 67. Depression is often